Hello, church. Today is Wednesday, March 18th, 2020. This is the first of what will be weekly updates, video updates from me, just to stay more connected in this time of social distancing and wanting to figure out new and creative ways to maintain our sense of community. So these updates may have some information in them as needed, but mostly I hope they're more reflective or inspirational. In this time where we're getting so much information all the time and it seems like there's just a crush of it, maybe this will be a little respite or help us to kind of find our orientation in the midst of it. That's the hope for this anyway. But, like everything, every day, things are changing and moving. And so we're all going to do the best we can to provide meaningful opportunities for content, for connection, for faith in the midst of what is a really tumultuous time. So recently I was thinking of a movie that I remembered from 1983, and it's called Koyaanisqatsi. It's a movie that was produced with no words whatsoever, but all these beautiful images. And it had to do with the way human civilization at that time was interacting and impacting the world around us. And the name for the movie, Koyaanisqatsi, right here, is from a Hopi word. The Hopi word meaning life out of balance. Life out of balance. It's a movie that maybe you can find on Netflix, given that we all have a lot more time on our hands for the most part. So Koyaanisqatsi, highly recommend it. But that idea of life out of balance is one that I think a lot of us are faced with today. This whole outbreak, the way it's impacted us, it really feels like there's a rebalancing happening in this world, both the world itself and then in our own lives and our own schedules and our own sense of what it means to be in the world. And so the question a lot of us have been grappling with is how do we maintain a sense of balance in the midst of what seems like a world teetering on, imbalance all the time, or just new information, new lines, new understandings of what we should be doing, how we are to be. So how do we maintain balance? Well, I think it's easy sometimes to enter those places where we want to protect, and there's nothing wrong with that instinct to protect, but truly our way through times like this is to look for those places to get outside of ourselves, to seek and create beauty somehow every day. Now that might be art, that might be music, that might be something else creative. And I'm so thankful for all the means that people have provided of all this new content for creating community online. I think that's so valuable. But that's really what we're faced with. How do we affirm, our humanity, our connection in a time of such distancing? So that's what we're all grappling with. And I've been so moved lately by those videos coming out of, say, Italy, where you have that man standing, outside on his porch, singing over the city from his apartment, the Nissan Dorma. It's just so powerful, so beautiful. And then there's the video from Spain, where at 6 p.m. each night, people applaud or bang their kitchen pots as a means of solidarity and celebration of all those healthcare workers who are on the front lines, who are doing everything they can do, to battle the disease, the outbreak. And both of those are such beautiful expressions of beauty and possibility in the midst of what feels like, turmoil and lack of control. And so it just makes me wonder, what's our song going to be? We might not be out singing Nissan Dorma. Okay, I get that. But what is our song? Because we've got one. And my prayer for each one of you in this time is that we look for those ways that we can continue to sing, both sing our own humanity, sing those parts of our lives that give us life in the midst of being, sort of cloistered. But what are those things? Really identify those. What are the things that allow us to continue to be a church? We're going to look for those ways, and you'll be hearing about some of those ways that will continue to be able to creatively express the communion and the community of our church in a time where it's just increasingly challenging to do that. I also want to acknowledge that a lot of us in this time, while we may feel like we're doing okay so far, it's the early days, we've got our toilet paper maybe, we've got the food we need, we feel set up, but the truth is, none of us is really prepared to deal with something that's unprecedented. And so I want to acknowledge those places where a lot of us feel not okay. That it's okay to be like, I have no idea what's happening. And part of being a church together is to allow that space to be held and to recognize that we're all doing the best we can, but we will not get it right. We don't have it all figured out. We're going to try things. We're going to experiment. We're going to do the best we can. And so to embody that spirit of patience, a spirit of grace, a recognition that those around us are doing the best they can, a recognition that our own kids or those that we care for in our homes are doing the same. And so I pray in the midst of all of this and all that's coming towards us, that abiding spirit might hold you, and that spirit of God be strong within you, that in those times when we're questioning, what's the next step? What should I do? What's going to happen? That we remember that we are truly held by the one who knows us, who loves us, who calls us by name, and we are never alone. So in that spirit, I offer to you this message that I presented. And again, I look forward to sharing more of these moments with you each week, say on Wednesdays. I think that's pretty much how it'll be. And until we connect the next time, I pray that you be healthy and held by the Spirit of Christ's peace.